that sacrifice is as a result of mercy. Because now let's measure the two. Grace is standing here. Grace is this side, which is Jesus Christ, and mercy is this side, which is the Old Testament. They have the same account. It's called the Four Gospels. Now the New Testament actually starts from the book of Acts. So let's say from Genesis to John is Adam. Because even while Jesus was walking this earth, sacrifices were still being done. They were still sacrificing. They were still taking the acts of priesthood. But yet there was a deception. One of the things that Moses did that I nearly called a mistake, but I wouldn't, because God actually asked him to do it. He said, take the snake, wrap it around the stick, and let everybody look at it. I should have called that a mistake, because that thing was an act of mercy. It wasn't an act of grace. So because that thing is an act of mercy, the devil entered it. I don't know if you are getting this now. The serpent, as referred in Adam, he was in search of mercy. The serpent, which is what? The devil, which is Satan, is in search of mercy. So every act Satan did was to find mercy. So he thought, if I can just influence man, this is beyond making God hate man. No, he was looking for the way where he could take back the place he had lost. So since he is the serpent, now let's go back to the New Testament. Jesus came and said, the same way Moses lifted up the serpent, the snake in the wilderness, the same will the Son of Man be lifted up. That means there is a problem. It needs to be corrected. That means Jesus is trying to put grace everywhere there is mercy. If Satan is standing there, if Satan is referred to as the serpent, why wrap him in a stick and tell people to look? Why? Why upon all things you have been trying to make the people look at Satan? You even came in a New Testament and tell us to be as humble as a dove and be elusive as a serpent. Why this? Anything you cannot see, you can never understand. Because you see, the human man is so limited that if he doesn't look at things carefully, he will miss them. Now there is this movie that Leave the World Behind. When you watch that movie, you begin to realize subliminal messages. From the starting of the movie to the ending, loaded with subliminal messages. The other man's shirt, it was written, kill something. The brother's shirt, the girl's brother's shirt, was written obey. Okay, I think it was her shirt, it was written obey. Why is it written obey? Now there is another movie, I think late 90s or 2000. The guy found an eyeglass. Anytime he wears the eyeglass, he begins to see aliens as people. Written on the walls and magazines, obey, obey, obey. Why are you giving us subliminal messages? Because they know once you can't see it, you miss it. So they tell you the fact that televisions, you say, why is it called a program? It is causing you to obey. They need to give you certain amount of information to load your mind, make you exclusive. So 247, there are people that spend 24 hours just looking at TV. So what they are trying to do to that person is obey. So anything we tell you here, obey. Are you getting this now? So subliminal messages are there, and it was so clear, it was so obvious to me watching it by the Spirit of God. So obvious to me, God is pointing it out to me that look at this one. Even when they were driving to take the other turn, and she said, let's go and get coffee. Which coffee? She said, Starbucks. Most movies, they wouldn't tell you the company of coffee they are going to get it. Why would you just call Starbucks? Why? And you see, when they are talking about the internet shutdown, why are you giving us this thing? So that by the time it happens, people are going to be fine with it. They're not going to. No, you saw it coming. It's subliminal message that controls your mind, but you can never see. But they had serpents on the paper. Why snake?
And they said it was from China.
Yeah. Why snake? Now you are giving us a location, China. I don't know if you are getting this. So they are hiding subliminal messages. Yesterday I talked on the aquatic realm, and I proved to us that this movie called Aquaman, they made you feel it is okay to get married to a mermaid. Why? Why are you trying to prove something that is not real here? So by the time somebody finds a mermaid by the seashore, he's looking for a way to fall in love with a mermaid. This is demonic entities. And I proved to us from scripture yesterday that it wasn't a whale that swallowed Jonah. Scientists proved that whales have small throats. They can't swallow a whole human being. So how comes if a whale can't swallow? Yes, as big as it is, it can't swallow a whole human being. So how comes you are trying to tell me in scripture that a whale swallowed Jonah? No. It's not a whale. It is a mermaid, a demon. Now they serve these things called Dagon. Dagon is a fish. Yes, worshipped by the Egyptians. And from yesterday, I proved from scripture, telling them, go back to the time of Noah, the time of the Anakims. You begin to realize they were there. The sons of the Anakims, they were all there. Why? It is because I said something. I said, if the flood came, destroyed all the giants, the sons of God that had sex, the Nephilims, destroyed them that had sex. If it destroyed them all, how comes Goliath survived? Goliath was a giant. He's also the son of the Anakims, the giants. Even there were giants remaining on earth that Joshua and Caleb killed to take over the land of Canaan. So where were these giants coming from? If the flood had destroyed all of them, you begin to realize that there was a certain technology the sons of the Anakims used to survive. The giants, they used to survive. And then God opened my eyes that it was Dagon, the mermaids in the sea, that gave them a certain technology and said, receive this technology, but do one thing, spread our names on the surface dwellers, so that when they begin to worship us, we will reclaim the surface. So from there it was introduced to the Israelites, Dagon worship. This is the worship of the Philistines, the Moabites, the Amalekites. They worship Dagon, they worship Ashtaroth, they worship Baal. Where did all these gods came from? That means it was introduced by people, hybrids that were more intelligent than man. And I told you from scripture, I think the book of Acts, that the people said that we are worshiping Jupiter, that it fell from the space. What a minute. It is introduced by a certain entity that is more intelligent than them.